Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 113. Cool. It's mid-January.
Yes.
And it is most definitely cool. Did you get out and enjoy any of the warmer weather this past weekend?
Not really.
Yeah. I tried to. It snowed Friday night, and then I got a really good calf workout by going out and running on Saturday. I'm trying to kick my training into gear. Haven't been doing so great this week, but the weekends I at least get out twice, on the weekends, and then at the weekdays I can get half of them in. But yeah. You've got birthdays going on in your house.
Yeah, my daughter turned 6, and we celebrated that today. We went out to eat, and my mom and my mother-in-law are here in town, and I left them after Lucy went to bed and came over here, and then we discussed all sorts of things, and then yeah, so I might be yawning.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just surreal to me that it was 6 years ago.
Yep.
That, I was worried about you in the hospital and went and visited little Lucy in the NICU, and 6 years. I mean, it's to me it seems like it was the TiVo do-do-do-do,
Yes.
6 years ago. But yet, I've seen her and she doesn't look anything like that little.
No.
How big was she? 3 pounds?
3 pounds 15 ounces. She was pretty big for her age, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, gestational age. But we have a couple of things in Administrati, and then I don't have very much knitting, nor do I have any enabling, because I am being a good cold cheaper.
Good job.
Although Amy and I did establish that I needed some sort of code word. Because I was just out shopping around, and I was like, oh, Amy, look at this. And she's like, is this the one? I was like, no, it's not the one. I don't want you to buy it for me. So we need a safe word, or an anti-safe word.
She apparently likes to window shop, even though she's not able to.
Because I follow so many blogs in my blog reader, and people, talk about, I think it was the one that I was looking at was A Playful Day was commenting how she was going to get involved in the Olympic Games, and then she linked to now I can't remember the yarn company's website, but they had a blog about a special colorway they were doing, a Rainbow Connection inspired colorway, and then I was like, oh, isn't this beautiful? I can appreciate yarn even if I'm not buying it, right? You don't have to come live with me, but I can just look at you and think that you're pretty.
Nice try.
Yeah, but it was all sold out, so the temptation was gone.
Yeah,
I didn't need it anyway. It was all gone anyway. So yes, let's carry on. I don't know if you've noticed, but we are wearing some snappy new attire. Ooh, look at that! So way back when we were doing the stamps for the kits, people commented that would look really cute on a shirt, and I was like, you know what, that would. And so we didn't really get it in before the holidays, but I've been working with Acme, and we've got 3 color choices. We've got this blue and a pink and a gray, and they're just slightly different because these are different brands of the V-neck and the crew
V-neck's
neck.
more of a seafoamy, greeny blue, not like this one.
And then I think the pink for this one is called light pink instead of pink. But we'll give you the stats, and then we'll do the oohs and ahs, okay? So the crew necks are 10, and then the V-necks are, I'll give you a chance to speak,
$15.50.
And then shipping domestically in the United States is $3.75, and Acme is always really good if you aren't United States with working with an option to ship it that will meet to get it as low as your threshold will allow. We are taking pre-orders through the 1st of February is when the pre-orders are going to stop, and then they're going to have those shipped out and hopefully to everybody by the 1st of March. So you'd be buying it now until the end of February, and then there's printing and shipping time, and then hopefully you'd have it by March. So yeah, there's the 3 color options in the 2 styles, and that's through acmeglobal.bigcartel.com, and I can link you to it in the podcast.
I think that was a little confusing for people. So like, if you ordered it today, I think there was a 5 to 6 week turnaround, basically, because there's pre-orders and then there's a 3-week turnaround. So yeah, if you ended up ordering it as you're watching the video of us right now, you shouldn't expect it until 5 or 6 weeks later.
Yeah. So March 1st. March 1st is when everybody should have it, whether or not they order it now or right at the deadline, right? So ultimately what I was trying to get across was this pre-order.
Yep. It is.
You don't get it immediately, because this way we can batch up everybody's orders and
give you the price discount.
Yeah,
basically.
that we're hoping that we can achieve through selling them. So, and crowdsourcing and getting it out there that folks that want it. So hopefully we can get it through other means to folks that are watching back episodes start from the very beginning. And we really appreciate Acme Global continuing to, out of Lawrence, Kansas, continuing to work on it with us.
Yes.
But we chose these color options because I love the blue and she loves the pink, and the gray is a nice, neutral choice. Amy is a big fan of the V-necks. I like the crews. I tried to be a V-necker because everybody was like, oh, I love V-necks. And I got one of our Knitpocalypse shirts as a V-neck. And I don't know.
I don't like it.
I didn't like it. It feels too juicy down my front. I don't know. But yes, I was going to mention that as well. The Knitpocalypse shirts will have a different logo. We're currently working with the graphic designer to get that, and those will be coming up soon as well. So if you're coming to the Zombie Knitpocalypse, you'll have a choice. You could do both, you could do one, you could do the other.
Yes, we really we're trying to make decisions as quickly as possible to get that shirt option out to you before this pre-order ends.
So you can make an educated choice.
Yes, educated choice. But if you're like, I'll just get both, go ahead and order now. Make sure you get your order in. But yeah, we're working on it.
We are.
Let's cross our fingers.
We're doing
it and get that done.
We're getting things done. We're taking names. So yeah, there's that. And then yeah, today, kind of out of the blue, unless you have any more that you needed to say. I know that many podcasters, many podcasts that you may watch, have gotten notes from Blip in the past, which is where we currently do our video hosting. And Blip has been kind of systematically changing the strategic direction of their company. And so they are going more the route of like the Netflix original series, which I was interested to see in I'm pointing at the TV, the Golden Globes. Netflix was listed as a TV channel on the TV, or a network, on the series that were nominated.
Okay. So
like House of Cards was the network was Netflix.
Oh, I watched that one.
Yeah. I like Kevin Spacey.
Yes, I like him a lot. And anytime somebody as talented as Kevin Spacey is talking to the camera, aka me, I love it. Talk to me all the time.
But anyway, Blip didn't give us like a final notice that we needed to get off of their hosting, but they did give us a heads up that in February they will be removing their iTunes feed.
Yes.
And so we're going to have a poll, a very Dr. Seussian poll that says, out in the Ravelry threads, and I can link to it in for this episode. It'll be in this episode's thread, and I can link to it from the blog as well if you're a blog reader slash watcher. But do you watch us on YouTube, or would you watch us on YouTube? Would you watch us in iTunes? Do you would you be willing to make the switch?
Yeah, I would not watch you in YouTube. I would not watch you in.
Yes. We just need to evaluate our options. There is no doubt that the YouTube or the iTunes feed having all 113 of our episodes is going to be removed, and so that's an issue in of itself. I'm hopefully going to be uploading those to YouTube, but you folks with your iDevices that aren't watching it embedded in our website will no longer be able to download those through YouTube or through iTunes until we can get that all fixed up, and it might take a while to do all 112 episodes. Mm-hmm. So, suffice to say, changes are coming. They're not immediate, but just a heads up, and then we need as much feedback from you as we can possibly get. We don't want to alienate any folks that, would not watch us if we weren't on iTunes. But it's technologically, it's complicated, and getting on iTunes is harder than you might think. Just put it that way.
And the places that make it easy, like Blip used to be free, or there's no even option to say, please charge me, I want this feature.
Can I pay? Yeah, so that you do that.
Keep it, pay, please.
Yeah.
So the other sites that do this, they charge a lot of money, and even the cheapest one is like borderline, because I can understand if it's part of your business or different things like that. If you're a dyer and a podcaster, a lot of that might make it might make perfect sense.
Yeah, business expense,
mm-hmm. and whatnot. And I don't know. It's just
the free sites like YouTube, they don't allow downloading directly of the file, which is what is needed for your iTunes feed. So your subscription in iTunes right now goes out to Blip and downloads that file directly. So
and it makes sense because YouTube is taking on all of the hosting and whatnot, and iTunes is just like sucking it and then not giving Blip the credit, or Blip or YouTube or anybody else the credit for hosting all of those files.
There's no banners to click on or ads to monetize your traffic.
Which is, it's good and it's bad, but at the same time, if you're not, if your site that's sucking all the ads away isn't giving credit back to where the video was originally hosted, there's no way that original host site is going to want to give up their, direct link to the video. Anyway.
Yep. Huge bandwidth, high traffic,
And we're in IT. We know that this is not a cheap expense. Yeah. I mean, even with the modest amount of people who watch our video compared to, say, I don't know, Jenna Marbles or somebody who has millions of subscribers, even our modest traffic costs quite a bit of money out on these hosting
and
sites.
That if you download them via iTunes, my mouth is using those interchangeably right now, that they're large files. So not only storing them, but then delving them out to anybody that's asking for them is not a cheap endeavor. So yes, Amy and I are computer people. Have no fear, we will figure out a solution, but we just need to figure out the needs of you as our consumers before we can make educated decisions.
Right. Sounds good.
Yep. So look for that, and then we're on to the actual knitting.
Yeah.
Which is the point of all this.
I mean, there will be a poll, but feel free to give us free-form feedback as well.
Or if you have a really great video web hosting site where you can directly hook it up to iTunes.
Yeah, if you think that,
yeah, any suggestions are welcomed. I know that when other podcasts were kicked off of, or not kicked off, but kind of, Blip kind of said, we're going a different direction. It's not you, it's me. That they did exhaustive research. And so I know a lot of people have been out there looking, but maybe new ones came about.
Yep.
Who knows? Anyway, back to the NID. Do you have any FOs?
I have the month of the square is still going on, and thank goodness it is, because it's my only finished object.
Woo! Green.
Yes. I got the bright green going, and so I have 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I have one hand knit, or hand spun, hand woven square.
It's a lot of hand in there.
This won't be going into my blanket because it's not super wash. But I'm sure that it will find a home in something, in some project. But it was just what I happened to have left over on the bobbin. So I was like, oh, I think, I'll apply these 2 random things together that look similar. One's blue and one's purple, but you can't really tell that one's blue and one's purple. And weave it. And so it looks nice, and it reminds me of what I spun. And I picked out 3 more ones from my stash of leftovers to go into squares that will go into the blanket. I just didn't get around to weaving. So those 3 hopefully will be next week, along with my purple. I got His Royal Highness.
His Royal Highness Henry. HRH. Very pretty.
So that is that.
And that's Dancing Dog Dye Works.
Yes, those are all Dancing Dog Dye Works.
She's going to have a DDD blanket.
Yes. It's going to be fantastic.
Fantastico.
But yeah, that was it for FOs. I don't have anything else.
I have a hoe. I went like gangbusters on my Vesper Masquerade colorway 4x4 broken rib OMG heel socks. They just continue to make me happy, and I was in a sock knitting mood, and so I thusly have a hoe. And then I immediately cast on the toe so as not to get second sock syndrome. And there she be. Cool. Yep. And it's on size 0s, 36 stitches, or 72 around. Hello, sir. I was gonna take my sock off. Yeah. Fun knit. It's been my purse knitting for a while now. I really enjoy kind of that it isn't ribbing every row, but it isn't stocking knit every row. Right. Portion of it. It's like, oh, I'm alternating. And I have to think just a little bit, but not too much, and away she goes. So then that is my other work in progress other than what I'm doing right now. I'm going all monogamous-y. Ooh, yeah. What's that? That's your...
This is my Kibbit sock yarn from, what is it? Bijou Basin Ranch. And, yeah. So it's a cookie A pattern from one of the clubs. Yeah, it's softer than cashmere.
Yes.
It's wonderful stuff. So, yeah, this is a Cookie A sock club. I think that they're available now, and I will get this out on my projects page. It's not out there yet. I just delved into this like yesterday or the day before. So I haven't gotten a picture of it and put it out there. I wanted to make sure I got through one set of the repeats first. But I love how the color's knitting up. It's very subtle, and and it's gonna be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdad decided to go with the single ply sock yarn or sock, and then requested gloves for the second pair. Yeah. So I bought a Rainy Sisters pattern, the Rainy Sisters glove pattern that comes with the fit guide. And I will dive into gloves, and that's kind of a new to me thing. So 2014, year of the glove. Gloves, you know, that's new to me anyway. And
But you've made like Nux, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it just, I've never just finished off the fingers. So my 100% Kiviot.
Amy's like all Kiviot all the time.
See, and this one doesn't quite feel as soft to me as the other one.
I agree.
But I think that this one really hasn't been washed to the other one's a blend, so the blending automatically kind of really, I don't know. I think that this will be great once it gets washed a couple times.
It's pre-bloomed.
Yeah, it's pre-bloomed. And then, yeah, I got 7 inches or 7.5 inches right now, and I need to get to 17 inches, so 10 more inches of stockinette, plain old. But then I grafted it closed, and I'm done.
I was having a similar conversation with other knitters about the socket hat. Oh, they love the socket hat. And I was just like, I will never knit another one of those. Because, I don't know,
I knit a less slouchy one, and it was actually really fun. Because by the time I got done with the ribbing, I was into the stockinette section, and then boom, I was done. Ooh,
there's a
Chaz, you better kill that bug.
There's a flyy thing in my home. Yeah,
but don't knock over
our light. That would be bad. Start a fire. You guys will send help, right? Yeah, I don't know. It was just too much. Like, I mean, like a sock in the round, like you feel like you're making progress because each round is so small, and then the socket hats are so big. And I know they're pretty,
but they're not on like really small needles either.
Like 2s.
Really? Yeah. I don't remember, maybe. But I made like 4 of them in a row, and I thought, this is fun. So,
no, it was not fun. I love mine. I'm using mine as like a liner right now for my Sitka hat. It was too cold in these really cold temperatures, and so yeah, I'm wearing it on the inside of my whatever. But yeah, I just have nightmares about it for some reason. I don't know. I thought that it was really, I would rather have some sort of patterning, any sort of patterning, even if it's a little complicated, than just sitting there knitting around over and over and over for 17 inches.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I did it on purpose. I want the
yarn to
the finished object to be that way, so it's just, you know, power through pain here.
You can do it.
But my cowl has made some progress. I have into the pattern part of it a little bit. And I really like how this colorway is knitting up. And it's Once in Love with Amy from Sheep Dreamery. And once I have it finished, I will be giving away a matching skein. So you too can make yourself one. So, yeah. But not until I'm done with it. And you know me, I don't work on, you know, this has been like a couple weeks of progress right here. So it might be a while. But as soon as it gets done, this exact colorway in the single ply will be a prize.
Cool.
I'll have to think of something.
I have my Grello.
Yeah.
Maybe I can work on my Grello as well.
So, and then just one last thing. I have progress on my vest.
Ooh.
So there. This is the back of the vest. So the front is done, and working on the back, and I'm close to getting to the arm, you know, not really. I have like 14 to 15 inches.
I was just laughing at the hand motion, like,
close. Not quite, but
hey, but once you get done with that, there's not much left.
yeah, exactly.
Vests don't have sleeves.
Yeah, because once you get up to the arms, you know, easy. So
Zoom, zoom.
zoom, zoom. And that'll be exciting because then it'll be seaming up and doing all the finishing things, which would be, I don't know, as things come together and they start forming their final object. It's like, ooh, this is fun.
I have had a similar realization with this, that it's the module. I don't know, I just do so many seamless items where it's just that, like, oh yeah, I gotta add 2 inches, you know, that like the modularity, I don't know if that's a word, of this knit, the Hallelujah, I've really been enjoying it. Like, I completed the left upper front, and I completed the back, and I completed the right upper front, and then I seamed them together, and now I'm working on the bottom textured portion. So yeah, I didn't do many modifications other than she had you mattress stitching up the sides, and I seamed them with my crochet. I can't remember what it's called now. I can never remember. It's like the crochet bind off or something crochet. It's like crocheting, but I don't use a crochet hook. I just use my needle and draw the yarn through both loops, both sides. And then I just bind off like you'd normally bind off. After I get another loop, I pass that loop over the top. And I really like it because it creates a firm seam there. Not that my mattress stitch wouldn't be firm, but I don't know. It makes it substantial. Feels substantial. And I am adding an extra repeat. The size small doesn't have you doing as many repeats at the bottom, but I have a long torso, and I'm normally long torso. I know that there's ribbing after this, but I wanted it to be a little longer, so I'm adding an extra repeat there, and then yeah, it'll be kind of zoomy. I'm really enjoying the yarn, and at this gauge it's very drapey and loose, and will have a nice I always enjoy all my fingering weight garments. They just have a nice weight to them. Like other garments that I have, you know, certain times you're like, oh, I can only wear this if it's really warm, or, you know, and I'll put this really warm, really cool if I want to be really warm. I guess I do have like tank tops and whatever where it's like, well, I can't wear that now because it'd be too chilly. But really love the green, really love this stitch pattern down at the bottom. It's kind of addictive after all of the stockinette. Although the stockinette was flat, so it wasn't in the round. I did have those purl back rows, and I tell you what, I'll even take a purl back row over knitting in the round just over and over and over again. Because I get into that state where you measure, and you're like, oh, I just need to add 2 inches, and then you're like, wait, now I need to add 2.5 inches. Like, I swear I just knit for an hour and I went backwards in time. But this is my work in progress. I'm nothing if not interesting lately. January is when Megan becomes a boring fuddy-duddy, apparently. Podcast trend.
Sure.
Megan's a lame-o. Well, I mean, last week you were like, and I finished this, and I finished this, and look at all this progress I have, and
well, I have a not guilty pleasure kind of thing, but I've been working on some cross stitch as well. So maybe if I got my butt in gear, I would have had more to show you. Not more to show you, but more finished things to show you. But no, I spent a couple evenings working on cross stitch, and I realized 10 years ago when I set this thing down that I had mistakes in it, and in order to move forward I had to fix them, and that's probably why it sat there for so long. And I was like, nope, snip, snip, rip, rip, fix, fix. Okay, moving on. So I have like a bigger section of it done, and now it's becoming addicting. Like, oh, if I just do a little bit more red over here and a little bit more red over there, and oh, I could change to the pink, and I'm going to do the pink over here. You know, it's getting addicting. So
talk about modular, you know, in progress. And
well, although, you know, the first night I worked on it addictively for like, I would say probably 2 hours, and it felt like I got like, not even the full bit of this filled in. Like, it was just like the progress was only on a portion about this big. But it is a bigger cross stitch that has a lot of like color changes in it, so you're never cross stitching more than like 12 X's before you're switching a color, because that color is separated from itself enough that you wouldn't want to cross. So I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're not a cross stitcher, this is all yawn, very boring. Maybe even if you are, it's like, oh gosh.
All of this is to say that Amy still outperformed me, even though she's got a whole nother hobby that she was doing.
Yeah, and all that spinning progress went screeching halt. Like, there is no spinning happening in my house. But I did put like, I attached the fiber to the wheel and did like, like, I don't know, like this much of a bump, just to get it on, and say that I had started it. But no, nothing else is happening in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really cool colorway, so I'm gonna have to play with it soon.
My next week resolution is to not be lame.
Okay, there you go. Don't be lame.
Don't be lame, Megan.
Yeah, be a rock star. Maybe if you
show.
figure out this web casting,
You can be
whatever
like a
stuff.
tech rock star.
Yeah, you'll be a tech rock star. Seems to be what's occupying your brain today.
Yeah, well, I like to solve problems, specifically technology problems, and so yeah, everything kind of like this evening I was sitting at the computer trying to get this stuff figured out, and all of a sudden it was 8:30 and the children hadn't been bathed, and Amy's texting me, I'm going to be a little late tonight. I'm like, good, because I'm not ready for you to be here. Like time warp just happened. Like I start trying to solve a problem and nothing else matters. My laser beam focus, but still lame for my knitting podcast. I decided again not to pull out any of my enabling, so I guess enabling will just have to be the things that I ordered before I started cold sheeping. And then Amy, you said you didn't have any.
I have something that's getting created for me, and will be like a reserve listing at some point, but yeah, that's all future magic, imaginary purchases. So they're not here yet, and I don't have anything else planned. I mean, I'm like kind of cold sheeping with you in the sense that
I'm still trying to enable you. So
yep.
Look at this beautiful yarn.
Yeah, and I'm doing a swap, and if I can't find the absolute most perfect yarn for this person in my stash already, I'll probably be purchasing something.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. The Loopy U had some wool mines the other day, and I was like, and it all sat there for a very long time, in my opinion, because I was like, I want that.
Was it DK?
No, it was the fingering, and I have a lot of it. That's how I told myself that, right? I was like, Amanda Bell got us that, and I haven't used it yet, so I shouldn't get any. But yeah, the cold sheeping is going well. I really feel like I was telling Amy last week, I want to get to the end of the year and just see how much of a dent I've made. Like, can I eliminate a bin, or just prove to myself that, like, hey, if I had another point in my life where I buckled down, like, the stash wouldn't own me, I would own the stash. So I'm asserting my dominance over my stash, basically.
Yes, and that will keep her motivated.
It will. Yeah, I know I can do this, because I need to show my stash who's boss. And I'm a lame boss. But yes, the enabling will be, this week will be these fantastic t-shirts. Yep. Get them all you can. Who knows when we'll be doing this again. The more people that we can get involved this time, the better.
Yep. So and again, the retreat shirts are coming. They will be very cute. And just have... the sofa won't be involved.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to explain it. We're not done with the design yet.
And if you're new to the podcast or new to the retreat, the Zombie Knitpocalypse retreat is the shirts aren't included. So you can decide whether or not you want to buy the retreat shirt. Yes. So, with that said, I think we're done.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.